This is the most experience I've ever earned in a game of Halo Infinite. This method is the fastest current way to get that sweet Master Chief armor and hero rank. But the thing is, this game type seems harder than it actually is. In this video, I'll show you the fastest way to get experience in the new Halloween playlist, the best strategy to maximize XP, and 3 distinct choices you should make to greater increase your chance of big bonuses. My name is Slick. I've been playing Halo for 20 years, and my great journey is to prove to everyone how great Halo can be. Let's get into it. I thought it would make a lot of sense to actually do a live demonstration of the best strategy. It's super easy to accomplish, and if you follow these steps, you will be getting as much XP as possible in these games. This can work on any map. The strategy is pretty good. It's bulletproof across the board. Every single map has the same critical things, such as the upgrades, the weapons, etc. Okay? So our number one thing we're going to be doing is building up to damage. So all we're doing is keeping our starting weapons, bringing as many kills as possible because that's how you keep up your score. And you're just going to stick with those base weapons, and we're going to collect enough to buy damage. We're just going to buy damage all the way up. We're not going to do anything else. Another thing is like staying pretty close to spawn points for baddies, kind of like this. So that way they're just like non-stop spawning in front of you, right? Now, ammunition is a commodity buy, okay? So only buy ammunition when you need it. You're gonna need it in the first round if you don't get a max ammo, right? So I'm actually gonna go for the damage upgrade right now. This is kind of risky, but because I value it so much, because now I can just like melee these guys as they come out. Just don't die, okay? So now you're just gonna one-hit melee all these elites, but you don't want to die. It's really easy to die here. All right, so now we got max ammo there. And once again, we're just still building up. So I'm glad I didn't spend the money on that ammunition. It would have cost 300 bucks. You pretty much always have to buy, someone already died, wow. You pretty much always have to buy that max ammo to start the game off, if after your first damage buy, if you don't get max ammo. So you always got to buy it if you don't get it on round 1, okay? So here we are. We got 2 damage upgrades already. We have our starting weapons. The reason why we're keeping the AR is because it absolutely farms people. Okay, absolutely farms. This is a grunt round, so we need to get as much score as possible. And we're just gonna we're just getting all these kills as much as we can just to get all the points. Nice. Red rounds give huge points. You see right there, we're on round 3, and now I have max damage upgrade. Let's do this. Level 3, level 4. So now I'm the strongest player in this lobby, for sure. And that means that I will be getting as many kills as possible. You see right now, I'm already most kills in the lobby, but that's not critical. Watch how fast I'll kill these guys now with max damage this early. And once again, we just kind of want to stay in between all these doors. Even get the spawn kills. All right, where are all the dinos here? Right here. Help the teammates out. So now that we've got our max damage, now we're going to prioritize max health. And we're not going to do it all the way like we did on damage. So I'm going to get level 1 health there, and that should give us a good start. Once we get 2 health upgrades, we're going to do something different. We're not going to stick to the plan that we just did for damage. You really want to have your health up to max, or I'm sorry, not max. You want health up to 2 for brutes. There we go. We got, that's exactly why we have the AR here, because we're just going to be absolutely farming with the insta-kill. See what I mean? AR is the best for this for surezies. Like I said, ammo is a commodity-based buy right now. You're not buying any more ammo if you don't have to. All right, so now we're gonna get health 2 because we're absolutely stacking these things. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna be buying the Bulldog, okay? So you see we're at 2,100 points from the score attack benefit. So now we have the Bulldog. We go health 1 and 2, Bulldog, and now we're gonna go all the way to health 4, okay? And now we're fully healed and fully damaged out, okay? Now we have a shotgun that can basically one-tap, and we're basically set up for the brute round here. You hear there, oh, so mad. Now remember, you only need to kill these guys once each this round. There's only a limited spawn of them. But, oh man, the teammates are not prepared for this. The shotgun absolutely farms brutes. It doesn't even care about their emotions. Nice, that's round right there. Now that we're fully damaged and health out, we got our shoddy. Now we're upgrading speed all the way. Notice we're not upgrading. We're not pack-a-punching. We haven't bought any other guns except the shotgun. And now we're just going to try to get ourselves all up to speed. So now we got speed 2. Speed's gonna give you a huge benefit to start running around the map training, right? There's max ammo. That's why we're only buying it when we need it. Let's get that. We're still losing Spartans. Dude, I mean, we're kind of like, we don't really care about the elites right now because they can't really threaten us with our speed. So let's get this one there. We're fully speed, and we're fully upgraded at this point, right? We have every single upgrade. We have speed, damage, and health all the way down. And that's the intermission. Okay, now what we're gonna find the Disruptor on this map, okay? Find the Disruptor, I think it's over here. So this is the Disruptor. We're gonna grab this. So we're at 675 points. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna build up to get this thing pack-a-punched or upgraded. So the reason why is because the Disruptor is basically the strongest gun in the game. And we'll see why once we get that thing pack-a-punched. And I know it's very misleading, right? You wouldn't think so, because you're like, Disruptor? All right, I might have to pick some of these guys up. I mean, I get it. It's scary, you know, all the bad guy elites. Basically, anytime they get close to you, you're just gonna run away and just power slide out, right? Because you're max speed. And the spawns are gonna make it a little hard, because you might get spawned on behind, but realistically. There we go. And we don't, like, it sucks that we're losing all of our teammates because they're not as experienced as us, but that's okay, because what we'll do is we'll just get them res once we have enough points. Perfect. Now we're at 2750. You need 2500 to upgrade the Disruptor. What you're gonna do is you're gonna pack-a-punch the Disruptor such that you get a very specific upgrade. It's not the Convergence Bulldog. This one's pretty good, but you actually need to get yourself the Skewer upgrade. So I'm gonna upgrade it again. This is the Sniper. This one's pretty awesome. It literally shoots sniper bullets. Let's see what this one is. Shock Rifle's pretty good, so we're literally getting all of them except the one we want. Unfortunate. All right, next time we get a points upgrade, we'll be all right. I mean, this thing still shreds, but there's a very particular Disruptor we want, so we're just gonna keep paying to upgrade it. You wanna be careful too, when you get some of these upgrades, they do like a lot of splash damage. So like this one's pretty good because it doesn't. Oh, insta-kill, we want that. All right, we'll just kill him for a second. Now let's upgrade our Disruptor again. Let's try to get that upgrade. There we go. So you see how I got a Skewer in the bottom right? That's exactly what we want. So that Skewer is going to give us like insta-kill damage on basically any enemy. And from here on out, you can pretty much just like farm for a while. So right now I got 196 kills. I always try to aim for like 300 kills to get that like sweet spot. Right around 300 kills is where you're getting closer and closer to like 10k damage. But you notice I'm literally going to one-shot all enemies now with this Disruptor. And it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. And I mean, it will one-shot pretty much all enemies. You can almost like just sit and farm them at their door spawns. See what I mean? Like we're on round like what, 10 or something? And I'm one-shotting all these enemies. And like I said, at this point in the game, you're pretty much guaranteed to get like 8k XP. Especially once you hit around like 250. So I'm almost at 250. I'm bound to get like 8k XP, and at that point we're at like, you know, like a 600, 700 score per minute based on how fast you're running through this. But look at all these kills I'm gonna get. Thank you, teammate. Very sweet of him to bring all the baddies to us. There's even like a residual splash that occurs on this thing. So if you direct impact, you get a kill pretty much every time, I think. If you hit them directly. Okay, I'm just kind of like double scoping, like, look at all these brutes, like, we don't care. So at this point, we've got 6k. We've got 6k points. You can start buying the mystery box, right? Right there. I think it's like 300 credits. I could be wrong. I don't normally buy it. If you do buy the mystery box, what you're really going to want to do is get yourself something crazy. Look, these are all chieftains, and they're dying in one bullet. So, Disruptor good. Yeah, teammates are still dying, and we're farming brutes. Now, let's see. Yeah, so 300 points. So we don't really need the shotgun anymore. Realistically, if we can get ourselves a shock rifle, I think that's the best possible gun to have. All right, so we're at 9k points. What are we at? 356 kills. We're getting a huge XP game for sure. No, snipe, no. Hey, there it is. Okay, so specifically what we want is the Skewer upgrade on this guy too. Not that one right there. That was really lucky. You see, I had to have a lot of points there to make that happen, but now like Now we're like pretty much juicy as hell with this upgrade here. Now we can hit people from range. There's like huge damage that occurs. But we're still one-shotting chieftains, right? Like, kind of insane. I think the shock rifle also one-shots chieftains. Which hit that. Lots of splash damage from this though, so you gotta be careful. Triple kill. The shock rifle is extra good too because when you have insta-kill, like you're getting, you know, every single elim of anybody who's nearby, right? And this corner is great because no one's spawning here. That's why this is working so well. So at this point, you can also start getting other things like power-ups, you know, and at this point, I should probably just be rezzing my teammates every time they die, but it is super risky to go over there. You know, like I said, you kind of like, you don't really care about your teammates' performance, unfortunately. You really care about yourself. You have to be really selfish here, which is fine, you know, like, but just be aware that if you're playing with your friends, you gotta lock in, you know. Actually, if you play with your friends, you could probably really get some crazy XP going. But I wanted this to be like totally fair. So there we finally died because teammates weren't locked in, but I got almost 450 kills. All right, let's see how much that got us. Bam, 12,330 score. That's like 5 games of anything else. That's like 3+ games of Husky Raid 40 kills. Like, that's a huge score right there. That's massive. If you guys want to know the exact strategy and all the listed details of what to do, it's down in the description, and I'll also put it down in a pinned comment. If you guys find this video helpful, do me a favor, hit subscribe. We're going to be uploading Halo videos on this channel for maybe the next 20 years. Okay, now that you know the strategy, I'm going to give you 3 critical decisions that you need to be making at all times in order to succeed here. Rule number 1 is do not buy anything except the Bulldog and the Disruptor off of the wall, except for ammunition, which is a commodity. You shouldn't be buying anything off the wall in this mode except for those items because they're not worth your time or money in the early rounds for spending. Rule number 2, do not use the mystery box until you fully upgraded your Disruptor to have the Skewer upgrade. As you saw in the video, if your Disruptor has the Skewer upgrade, you're one-shotting chieftains. You can about maybe 6-shot Escharom once your shield goes away. Rule number 3 is to think ahead and plan your routes on the map. So that way, once you get to the later rounds, you're more familiar with where you're going to go. Come up with a plan, play the game modes enough that you learn where the spawns are kind of culminating. And so when you run down a lane, you're not going to run into a clog of a bunch of enemies that are going to hit you with grav hammers. Do me a huge favor, as this game mode's pretty elaborate. In the comment section below, let me know your favorite guns if they aren't the Disruptor or the shock rifle. And if you know any secrets that maybe I haven't figured out yet, let us know. Maybe we'll do another video on it. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Slick. Thanks for joining me on the great journey. We'll see you guys next time.